Good morning to all. Today I'm going to be talking about women's reproductive rights. My overall goal is to get the federal government to make women's reproductive rights more accessible by having contraceptives, treatments, screenings, and medication available to everyone who needs it, disregarding financial status. Viewing other countries like Venezuela, women in Venezuela have to travel to Colombia to get contraceptives and are currently being blocked out by borders. This leads to these third world countries to have an immense amount of children. Some parents are not able to provide for the needs of their children financially. In the US, it is a known right for citizens to have access to health care, which also includes sexual health. The pandemic has had a great effect on this issue. When the clinics were needed the most, they were closed and thousands were unable to get access to contraceptives and other needs. This affects all the women in America, especially those of color. In the country, many political figures, who are mostly men, advocate against women seeking abortions. It is up to the states to decide their own abortion laws, which lead to some states completely banning abortion or set up a wall of restrictions which makes it almost impossible to pass. There are many clinics in our area like Planned Parenthood that offer screenings, birth control, and treatments. I want to know that I can have these services accessible to me when I need them. I should be able to have control. This bill states that the federal government prohibits the use of federal funds for abortions or healthcare plans that cover abortions. The only way to receive an abortion is if the individual is a case of rape, incest, or if the woman's life is in danger unless an abortion is performed. This bill makes it very hard for women to get an abortion. This leads to higher rates of unwanted pregnancies and unsafe abortions. There's a scarce amount of clinics that offer screenings, testings, abortions, and other services needed in women's reproductive health. This bill is implementing more care for women's health after birth, especially women of color. Their statistics state that a black woman is 3 to 4 times more likely to have a fatal birth than a white woman. This bill advocates for maternal mental health and with the mental complications that may come after pregnancy. The federal government needs to provide funds, as it is their job to have health care for everyone to have any treatment they may need, including reproductive health. This bill causes more harm than good. If someone gets pregnant and doesn't want to keep the baby, that is their choice. They shouldn't have to be forced to keep a baby they don't want because of the laws their state has placed, the lack of funding the federal government provides, and the scarce amount of clinics that offer the services they may need. Changing the bill, H.R. 18, will create bigger trust with women going to seek medical care for the services they may need. Unsafe abortions and unwanted pregnancies will decrease. Less deaths of mothers while giving birth and after birth, especially those in women of color, will go down. Why would you want to cause more harm in the people that create life? Advocate for them and get the federal government to protect women and their reproductive rights like it should have been.